Well, I listened to that so-called debate the other night. Didn't sound like any debate I've ever participated in. But at least after 8 years of the mangled English coming from the executive, at least McCain's words are clearly spoken and pronounced correctly. Oh, the content sucks. It's just sound bites and platitudes and remembrances. Obama sounds like he was doing everything he could to minimize the obvious differences in their intellectual capacities, and neither one talked about any issues with any substance. And while learners seemed to want a confrontation, neither one of them took the bait. Small differences in foreign policies, but not enough to engender hope that the military's role will see any diminishing in the next 4 years. In fact, both of them want to see them beefed up, enhanced. Obama gives all his answers using Republican framing, so all he can do is be a better war hawk. And McCain is so wedded to the military, it'd be silly to think he could ever even think differently. So 2 hours wasted learning nothing new, spent looking at and listening to our future president, well, barring any economic collapse and martial law, removing the last vestiges of our erstwhile democratic republic. I mean, the Democrats bailing on the bailout, compromising when they didn't need to. The public as a whole demanding accountability, reform, and no financial exposure for the failings of a few ultra-rich probates, and they reach and stretch and double-talk their way into appeasing the criminals in the executive. The New York Times should have told us the truth the day they confirmed that the NSA was doing their domestic spying. And then, rather than serving a second term, the whole den of thieves could be serving in Attica or some other rundown federal prison. Disillusioned? Me? Yeah. No way. I smelled this coming. The day I learned that my government, supposedly of, by, and for the people, had created a secret court. Ford giving Nixon a pardon and the people not lynching him was a sad day in my life. But the Church Commission creating F.I.S.A and moving control and oversight of the executive out of the public sphere and into a private court that lacked congressional oversight was the day I knew that the country I thought I was born into and the schools and the media still claims exist to this day was gone. Now don't get me wrong. I know that we lost this country back in 1913 when we gave control of the money to a private bank. But I learned about that much later. And what I'm talking about is an in-your-face moment that, with the consent of our so-called democratic representatives, my country ceased to exist. And they were patting themselves on the back like they'd done something good. And this, at the very same time that I learned that a secret cabal was creating a so-called continuity of government in case of emergencies, but doing so behind closed doors without any public input. I mean, don't we have a right to know what happens in an emergency? It's our government, not theirs to play with. Well, at least it was supposed to be. That's the government we were given back in yeah, I can't. Enough's enough, I reckon. Enough bile for one night. And now, into the circle file.